What is an ecovillage? Perhaps instead of what, a better place to begin is when, as ecovillages are really as old as humanity itself. For 99.9% of our last quarter million year evolutionary history, humans have lived in small scale, low impact communities. Only since the Industrial Revolution did access to fossil fuels and changes in human activity lead to an explosion in both our population and our ecological impacts. Today, global crises such as climate change, resource depletion, water and food insecurity, and rampant social inequity are threatening humanity's very survival. In our increasingly individualistic, mobile, and consumer oriented societies, we have forgotten what it means to be in community. We are living in a time of amnesia. Yet, more and more of us are waking up from our collective postmodern nightmare of separation and remembering our fundamental interdependence with each other and all life. In this time of transition, ecovillages are refashioning ancient stories and creating new ones for how we can live environmentally sustainable, spiritually fulfilling, and socially just lives together. As such, ecovillages represent perhaps the most integrated community responses to our global crises. And they're just plain fun. Weaving thousands of these communities together, the Global Ecovillage Network, or GEN, was launched in 1995 during the first International Ecovillage Conference at the Findhorn Foundation in Scotland. GEN offers networking and financial support to ecovillages in five transnational regions: North America, Europe, Latin America, Africa, and Oceania and Asia. In 2001, GEN was granted consultative status with the UN's Economic and Social Council, ECOSOC, and is becoming a key player in implementing the UN's Sustainable Development Goals and climate agreements on local levels. In 2005, two partner organizations were launched. NextGen is a network of youth involved in the global ecovillage movement, and Gaia Education has developed curriculum on sustainable community design and has offered courses to almost 20,000 people in over 50 countries. Today, Jen defines an ecovillage as an intentional, traditional, rural, or urban community that is consciously designed through locally owned, participatory processes in all four dimensions of sustainability: social, culture, ecology, and economy to regenerate their social and natural environments. It is clear that ecovillages are living laboratories, beta test centers for a more equitable, just, and regenerative future. They are very much in process, creating lifestyles that are both high quality with equitable access to resources and power, and low impact with minimal ecological footprints. And so, perhaps another definition of an ecovillage could simply be a community striving to live well and lightly together. Thinking about it this way, one can see that there are actually two directions toward the ecovillage model. Ecovillages within quote unquote developed, financially rich countries are typically intentionally created, and ecovillages within financially poor, two-thirds world or global majority countries are generally indigenous traditional communities. Intentional ecovillages in financially rich countries typically strive to lower their ecological impacts below local and global carrying capacities while maintaining high quality lifestyles. And such ecovillages also try to understand the economic and political systems that put them on top, and often engage in social equity and justice work in their neighboring communities, their nations, and the world. Traditional ecovillages in financially poor countries typically strive to elevate themselves above an equity baseline while maintaining small ecological footprints. They desire greater access to wealth, information, and healthcare, and greater freedom and political rights, but at the same time, they seek to preserve their local resources and cultures, which often hold deep wisdom for how we can thrive in a post carrying capacity world. Ecovillages seek common ground, solidarity, and healing between these intentional and traditional pathways in our quest to create viable models of sustainable human scale communities. In this way, ecovillages are helping demarcate the livable zone above an equity baseline and below carrying capacity, in which all humans must enter if we are to survive as a species. Being optimistic, then, perhaps we can say all human settlements are nascent or developing ecovillages. In addition to traditional and intentional ecovillages, Jen also recognizes and supports urban eco neighborhoods that are reinventing life in the city to become more sustainable, collaborative, and participatory. Given over half of humanity currently lives in cities, many of which are located on coasts threatened by rising sea levels, this is a daunting yet vital initiative. Because every ecovillage is designed by the people who live there, according to their vision, context, culture, and interests, no two are alike. In fact, their diversity is astounding. Most range in population from 20 to 150 individuals. Those with fewer than 20 members are thought of as eco communities, and traditional ecovillages often have thousands of members. Most are residential, and some might be better regarded as eco projects, which are initiatives of various sizes that inspire, educate, and foster eco-village lifestyles, such as green schools, permaculture centers and agroecological farms, transition initiatives, social and community enterprises, etc. Some have a common purse, others disconnect individual from communal income and expenses. Some are secular, some are religious, most are spiritual, with residents following their own paths. Surprisingly, few strive for complete self sufficiency, and most are well connected within their bioregions. Some even reject the label of ecovillage, often saying it is only part of their larger vision. While models vary widely, ecovillages all share an intention to develop four dimensions of sustainability: social, cultural, economic, and ecological, embodying whole systems design. Let's look at a few examples of how this shows up in the context of Auroville. Starting with the ecological dimension and thinking a bit chronologically, one of Auroville's earliest and most enduring aims has been to increase biodiversity and regenerate ecosystems, exemplified by many reforestation efforts, such as Revelation and Pachandakulam Bioresource Center, the Botanical Garden, and harvesting of wild edibles. Water has always been a major issue, and Oroville has had many successes with check dams and bunding, wastewater treatment facilities, and innovative windmills, as well as the Water Group, which strives to create a sustainable water policy for the bioregion. Oroville has over 2 dozen organic farms, such as Annapurna, Orogreen, and Solitude, each working with some combination of orchards, field crops such as rice and grains, dairy, and even superfoods like spirulina. Orville has pioneered many green building technologies, such as thatched capsules, bamboo, ferrocement, and compressed stabilized earth bricks. Several units, such as Ecoservice and Small Steps, deal with or reduce solid waste, and others, such as Well Paper and the Trash and Show, turn waste into valuable resources and even community events. Units such as the Center for Scientific Research and Auroville Energy Products have helped Auroville move toward renewable energies. Kinesi and ITS have spearheaded electrified transportation, and the Solar Bowl helps cook over 1,000 meals per day. Moving on to the social dimension, Orville has increasingly ensured access to holistic health care through units such as the AV Dental Center, Quiet Healing, ARCA, and Sante. Similarly, Oroville has dozens of schools for all ages, such as Future School, Nandanam, and Last School, and maintains around 20 libraries. In such a diverse and passionate community, initiatives such as Kudum, Joy Living and Learning, and Restorative Oroville have helped Oroville develop conflict facilitation and peace-building skills. Members also strive to develop fair, effective, and accountable institutions, and have created a number of decision-making bodies. The Residents Assembly, along with units such as the Oroville Board of Services and the Project Coordination Group, have helped empower participatory leadership and good governance, which is often quite difficult in this multinational community. But YouthLink, Sanganam, and collective events have allowed members to embrace this diversity. Next, looking at the dimension of economy, there are many initiatives such as the Auroville Board of Commerce, Sea Change, Oriya Co-working Center, and Unlimited Tamil Nadu that cultivate social entrepreneurship in Auroville. As a result, there are over 170 social enterprises in Auroville, providing employment to around 5,000 people from surrounding villages. The variety is astounding. Examples include the Language Lab, Aurica Sustainable Construction, Colors of Nature Clothing, Ecofem Feminine Products, Mandala Pottery, Sound Wizard, Tanto's Pizzeria, and Inside India, Oroville's travel agency. Most of these initiatives invest in fair trade and ethical systems of exchange, such as Maroma Incense, Upasana, Mason and Company Chocolates, and Mark's Coffee. There are also many efforts to empower and strengthen Oroville's local economy, such as FoodLink, which builds bridges from farms to tables, the many boutiques, which sell Orovillian products, the Free Store, and the Aura app, which supports local non monetary exchanges of services and products. And striving to manifest the mother's dream of money not being sovereign in Oroville, initiatives such as Universal Basic Income, the Education Scholarship Fund, the Maintenance System, and PTDC help generate well being for all through economic justice. Finally, Oroville really shines in the cultural or spiritual dimension. There are countless ways members celebrate life and diversity through theater, dance, music, visual, and other arts. Many initiatives such as Nandini, Sadhana Forest, nature camps, and sacred groves focus on helping members reconnect with nature and embrace low impact lifestyles. And of course, Oroville is replete with opportunities to nurture mindfulness and personal growth through various forms of yoga, meditation, talking therapies, martial arts, and more. Embracing its historical, visionary, and cultural contexts, members enjoy many traditions, such as Mother's Birthday, sunrise gatherings, and Indian holidays, such as Pongal and Diwali. Further embracing its bioregional context, initiatives such as the Life Education Center, Mohanan, Sustainable Livelihoods Institute, and the Auroville Village Action Group are engaging actively to protect and support local communities and nature. And perhaps most significantly, at its core, Orville is about connecting to a higher purpose in life through the philosophy of integral yoga, living in community, and striving for human unity and conscious evolution. There is so much to celebrate in Orville, and it is not a utopia, as any member can tell you. Real people are developing Orville, often under very difficult conditions. Common challenges include inadequate financial or human resources, access to land, local fears and misconceptions, a lack of tools to deal with conflict, and even language barriers within this very international community. This is hard work. There is already an incredible diversity of initiatives and activities, and of course, new ones are always being developed. But perhaps an even bigger growth edge is how existing initiatives can better collaborate with each other. How can all the pieces be put together into human scale communities, into holistic solutions that are greater than the sum of their parts? Within the four dimensions, there are already a number of umbrella groups helping to manage activities within their area. But this could be developed in many other focus areas. Going further, a key question is how might Oroville bring together all activities within each dimension so members can truly collaborate and live in solidarity, celebrate heritage and diversity, create a more just and equitable world, and restore and connect with our natural environments? And ultimately, how do we bring it all together in ways that help us awaken and evolve into higher states of consciousness and manifest our essential unity through nourishing and serving all of our relationships? The human journey is far from over. Just as the internet and other technologies are expanding our collective intelligence, communities like Orville are pushing the boundaries of our conscious evolution as a species.